know what time it is.
You know what it is.
Welcome to the Culture Podcast.
Welcome to the Culture Podcast. A podcast inspired by and representing for the culture.
Just been a fan of the culture and the authenticness of it.
Everything from hip-hop.
What's up, y'all? This is J. Cole.
Yo, it's Ice Spice.
It's Kendrick Lamar.
It's the baby.
Sports.
Mahomes looking to flip, takes it in for the touchdown.
Urban life.
It's heat up right now.
And everything in between.
Let's go.
The show starts now with your hosts, Jeff and Anthony.
Welcome to another episode of the Culture Podcast, La Cultura. This is your boy, Jeff. I'm here with my man, Ant. What's goody?
Hello, everybody. How are things?
You know, we haven't been around for a couple of weeks. A lot has been going on. I had my son's birthday. Then right after that is my sister's birthday.
Everybody have birthdays.
I mean, it's just a lot of shit going on.
People get old, man. Birthdays happen.
Yeah, word up. Yo, we got a new Culture crew member. We got a new Patreon. It's actually the same gentleman we had on the show last time.
Okay.
My man Raz. I don't know we got to give him a nickname. Raz. I guess Raz works.
Yeah, if you go by what the man name is, man. Let's not be cute about this.
Razier J. Just AKA Raz.
Is that the man? Is that his government name?
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
Sounds dope though.
It is. You just don't know who owe what to somebody. Like that Raz. Like no, not that Raz. The other Raz. Like okay.
It sounds like a strain of weed. Like yo, let me get that Raz. Let me get that raspberry.
Let me get that blueberry. Let me get a hit of that blueberry. Like an eighth of Raz. Like yeah, I got you.
Raspberry bubblegum hydro.
Have you been to a dispensary yet?
No, but I went to the new mall. The one here in Jersey. Mm-hmm. What is it? The American Dream, which is now the second largest mall in the entire country, behind the one in Minnesota, and it just surpassed the one in Florida. So Florida's now third, the Aventura Mall or whatever.
But the thing is that they're not even malls, man. They're really just entertainment centers.
Yo, I went in there. My godson is in town. Shout outs to my man James. And we went up in there. We walking around this motherfucker. And we got lost in that shit. And the shit is segregated as a motherfucker, bro.
Whoa.
They have a section for the rich motherfuckers. Whole other side of the mall is for the rich motherfuckers, bro. We was like, yo, what the fuck is this? The artwork is different. They got statues. The hallways was different. The furniture was different. This is where all the Gucci stores is at. And, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I can't even remember the names of all the name brand shits, but the expensive shit. The Birkin and whatever. And they got like, some of the stores got securities at the front. They got bouncers. I kid you not. Some of these stores got bouncers at the doors. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh shit. I was like, yo, let's get the fuck out of here. We don't belong in this side. Motherfuckers is looking at us.
You belong there. Fuck them.
We walking around with basketball shorts, fitted hats and all of this, I'm like, yeah, let's go back to the poor motherfucker section. Anyway, we're going there.
Stop that.
We go in there and we found this store. It's like I don't want to call it a weed store, a marijuana store, cannabis store, whatever. It's a new store. And they got the lady at the door and she's trying to, come inside. But we need ID. So they ID me. I'm like, yo, I'm old as fuck. You ID me. She was like, what about your godson? I'm like, nah, he's like 17. Like, yeah, he can't come in. I'm like, damn. So it was like that. So they let him come in, but he had to sit down. They're like, you can't shop. Just sit right here while he walks around. All right. So I got me some gummies and shit. And I got me some seltzer. They got these seltzer drinks. But it's like THC infused. Bought a couple of those. I was like, oh shit. They had all types of shit in there. Vapes, gummies, pre-rolls. They had everything in there. I was like, oh shit. They even had some mushrooms shit, the gummies that the dude was trying to sell me. He was like, yo, you try these shits. Me and my wife had these last night and we was fucked up for like 8 hours. I'm like, whoa, man. I'm not ready for all of that yet, bro. Let me work my way up to that. Let me take it slow.
Is there a functional time to be fucked up? Like 8 hours seems excessive. That's a job shift.
He was like, it's good for like 6 to 8 hours. I was like, hell no, man. I gotta be on vacation to take one of these shits.
Like you want to be high for like 2 hours, maybe 3, but like 8 hours, like yo, that's a long time.
But anyway, man, let's start the show, man. Once again, shout out to our new Culture crew member, Raz. He sounds like a member of the Wu-Tang. Raz. We got RZA, the Jizza, the Raz, the METHOD, man.
The funny thing that you was talking about, that the Wu-Tang thing pops up when you're talking about dispensary, because Newark is so petty. Because Raekwon was trying to build a dispensary on Broad Street in Newark, but they said that they were against it because it's like moral, whatever the fuck. Like moral, you deny no moral grounds in Newark, New Jersey? Really? Come on now. We got, it's like, I could go 4 blocks and find 8 liquor stores, but this is a step too far. Come on, stop that, man.
But yo, what we gonna talk about this week? A new Nas album dropped last week. Magic 2. And I said it's okay, but I don't like it as much as I like his previous shit. Like, I like the King Disease series that he's made with Hit Boy. I like that much better than Magic 2. And people are like, oh, what the fuck do you mean you don't like it? I'm like, I ain't saying I don't like it.
No, Magic.
I just said I don't like it as much. Yeah, it's like a mixtape. At this point, he's just, he don't even have to make these shit. He's just making it because he enjoys it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to make no money off of it. He's rich as fuck.
I mean, I think I appreciate that more about Nas than I do about Jay. That when Jay does something, it has to be like an event. Nas just still enjoys rapping. Like, he still likes the wordplay, the lyrics. He found a partnership that works. Like, people still like, when are we gonna have a whole premiere Nas album? Like, that's great, right? But it's for a very particular subset of hip hop. Like, Hit Boy is, he's not premiere, so don't take that or say no shit like that. He's someone of a different breed. He's an extremely talented producer, and they work well. Nas tried out a lot of people that didn't work well with him. This works extremely well. I still think Magic was it. I think it's a out of 10, it's like a 6.5. It's not bad.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
It's not right, but it's not his most inspired work. It's good. You could have threw that whole 50 verse in the garbage.
What was that? I ain't even, if it wasn't for the fact that he puts the, featuring 50 Cent, I would have no idea who that was. I'm like, who is this guy? He sounds different. He sounds like he's leaving a voicemail on an old phone. Like, his voice is different. I'm like, what is this?
I think the problem with a guy like 50, I think it's not a problem. I think with a lot of guys who become successful in hip hop and they become successful in ventures outside of it, their creative abilities and tension goes that way, and it starts to not shine as much in their music. I know he's going on tour with him and think Busta, and like Busta's the perfect warm up back because Busta's going to tear shit down. People still going to be excited. Still hear the 50 shit, but it's like it's from what 10, 15 years ago probably at this point. Mm-hmm. So it's like it doesn't really ring a bell the way that you think it was supposed to. And he, like I said, he wasn't ever like the greatest rhymer. I think he was. That's a lie. It's more like that grittiness, the reality of it. It's hard not to believe a nigga talking about, it's a lot of people that talk about shooting guns. Hearing from a motherfucker that got shot 9 times, like, oh yeah, you do this for real. Like, okay. But
he also had the production of Dre and Shady behind him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's the whole thing with hip hop no more. Like, where are the machines? Mm-hmm. Like, before you had the Shady sound, or you had the Dre sound, or the Timbaland sound, or whatever. Like, you had the machine behind you. Like, but who's the machine? I have no idea. Those clicks don't happen no more. There's no more groups. There's no anything. Just basically a bunch of nomads run around here just doing whatever they want to. But it doesn't inspire anything because there's no connection. There's no Dre and Snoop. There's no Missy and Timbaland. There's no that thing that the Clips and Pharrell. It just doesn't happen anymore. Like, even if Pharrell produced something now, like the last time Pharrell's news, because what is he, like the new like creative director at like Louis Vuitton, some shit like that? I'm like,
but we still have Nas and Hit Boy.
You're gonna always have Nas. I think Nas is one of the
projects.
Nas is gonna do this forever. I think Nas is gonna be a legacy act. I think he loves it so much he'll keep doing it for the next probably 10, 15 years. Like, he can just live off the Hennessy money alone.
And the Lyft money.
The Lyft money.
He was like the first person to invest in Lyft when it was a startup.
Ooh, how much did he invest though?
I don't know. It was a lot though.
I guess enough for him not to worry.
Yeah, his investing game is underrated. They don't mention him like with the Forbes guys and with Jay-Z. Nas is doing very well for himself.
Yeah, I think we just complain about the money chase. Nas is doing fine. Nas, like Nas ain't broke. Nas ain't struggling. Nas is doing just fine. He's gonna keep it that way too.
And speaking of features, another album that dropped was the Travis Scott joint, Utopia. And what he did was he got features on him, but he kept them hidden for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? He got like a Drake on there. He got like Beyonce on there, but you don't see that. You have to like listen to the shit to know. And if it wasn't for my fucking godson, I wouldn't have even listened to this shit because I'm not into this psychedelic fucking music, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not for me. Like, I'm good.
You never a big Travis Scott guy?
I'm good. Motherfuckers dying at the concerts, promoting pill popping. Like that's not what I want to fucking listen to, bro.
Man, I don't.
Like
get
I'm super
that,
good.
Man. I would never pop the pill, and I don't plan on doing it. Like
I'm good.
Like I don't like taking regular medicine prescribed to me by a physician. I'm just gonna take some other shit for shits and giggles. No. Like it's always like when you're sick, the doctor, like if you have a bad cough, they're like, here's promethazine. I'm like, yo, can you give me something lighter than this? Like a better cough suppressor? You gotta give me the strong fucking shit. I remember it was a while ago, I went to work and said I had a cold, and I had a cough, and I had got promethazine. They're like, yo, if you don't drink all that, you can give it to me. I'm like, the fuck? No. Get your lean sipping ass the fuck on out of here. Like, y'all niggas out here drinking cough medicine. I hated cough medicine growing up. You ever had Buckley's? It sucked. Dr. John's? It sucked. It tastes like fucking burnt tires and syrup. Ugh.
My dad used to make us take Scott's emulsion and also 40 malt. Look that shit up. The shit was brown. It was molasses. You pour the shit down out of the bottle. You had to wait because it was slow. It was like molasses. It was thick and heavy and brown. And he was like, this is good for you. This is going to help your immune system. I was like, motherfucker, I'm still getting sick. What you talking about?
That's just a Spanish Dr. John's, man. Seriously. It's the same shit. They just, they took the label off and gave it to a different community. It's the same fucking thing. Trust me. It ain't shit. That is not special. Nah, fuck them pill popping music, man. It's not me.
It ain't, you don't fuck with the Travis Scott?
Never a big fan of him. I understand how he has a particular audience and a particular brand, and I think, fucking with one of the Kardashians probably helped his profile a little bit, but I'm not big on Travis Scott like that. I think he's a good rapper, but there's nothing that pops in my head like, oh yeah, I remember that bar, I remember that line. Just some shit here and there. He doesn't grab me like that. I understand for a particular generation they feel different, but that's fine. Travis Scott, fuck you. I got surprise features. Fuck you. That means your album wasn't good enough to do it on your own. Like, I got a surprise for you. No, nigga, no. Like, when I hear a Kendrick album or hear a Cole album, if y'all got features, that's great. I'm here to hear y'all rap, and that's exactly what they do. Ain't no, I'm gonna play the album, and guess who I got on here? I don't want no fucking mystery box album. Fuck off.
And we had probably the most anticipated boxing match of like, the decade maybe? Or since Pacquiao and Mayweather? Yeah. And they were both over the hill by the time we got that fight. So we had Terrence Crawford.
Ooh, before you go forward, if they're in their prime, does that fight end up the same way?
Mayweather and Pacquiao?
Yeah.
No, I think Mayweather probably still wins just because he's hard to hit. You can't put your hands on him because he's so quick and agile and he's so defensive minded. But I think it would have been a more interesting fight, a more entertaining fight, and I think Pacquiao would have had more rounds in him. He would have fought, you know what I'm saying? He would have won a few more rounds.
Yeah, I think he would have touched him up a little bit.
He would have touched him up a little bit.
But Mayweather still probably would have won. That's fair, yeah.
But anyway, the fight that we had just last night was Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. And these are probably the two best fighters right now, right? Pound for pound. And they're both in their primes.
And they were
both undefeated champions. They each had like 3 belts.
Mm-hmm. It was some touching up getting done.
And I underestimated Crawford. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was going for Errol Spence. I don't know why. Terrence Crawford destroyed this man.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Far left, far right, liberal, conservative, Trump, Biden, Democrats, Republican. Feel like you don't fit into either camp at this point? Me either. The Mid-American Podcast is your home for discussing life and politics from the fastest growing and largest portion of the American electorate, the independent voter. Join in on the weekly political discussions on national, local, and pop culture topics from a viewpoint largely ignored in the media, the middle.
You know what it is, man? When you watch Errol and watch his fights, like he walks you down, like he's the predator. Like, no matter what, he keeps coming forward. And, like, the pressure just wears you down. He just starts beating the living shit out of you. And the thing with Terrence, he's such a brilliant counterpuncher. When I saw him duff that man and put him on the ground with a jab, I'm like, oh, this shit is over.
Yo, for real.
He got your timing already. If he dropped you with that, oh, he has your timing nailed.
Some of the shots weren't even like solid, you know what I'm saying? Like he dropped them 3 times. One was like a side blow to the neck, another one to the side of the head, and he's just dropping them. I'm like, damn, this guy's powerful. Knocked him down 3 times and then the ref prevented it from being a fourth knockdown because he stopped that shit. What, the eighth, ninth in it round?
Yeah. I mean, when you look at Homeboy's face, it was like he couldn't see. His eyes were fucked.
Yeah, he was fucked.
I know y'all can't see my head, but like he was like squinting, but he wasn't squinting. That's just how swollen his eyes was. And he just tagging his ass up. I said, woo, Jesus. And the bad part is like, when you got two of the best fighters in the world, you expected to be competitive, and it wasn't competitive at that point. But the truth of the matter was, like, I don't think Crawford broke a sweat. Like, it wasn't like, I'm wearing him down. Like, this is one of the fights where I'm just grinding and I'm just sweating and busting my ass. It wasn't that. It really, really wasn't that. It was entertaining. I thought it was dope that that Crawford was so fly. He's like, look at here, Eminem. You're going to come out and you're going to like announce this song for me and you're not going to rap. I got it from here. Like, cause you got Eminem right there walking him, not even out. He walked him to like the entrance to walk out.
To the Lose Yourself. And I thought he was going to rap. He ain't rap. He just said, he just announced him coming down, the best fighter, whatever, the champion. Terrence Crawford. And I'm like, dang, he ain't gonna spit. Nah, he just walked him down with his hoodie because he promised him that he was gonna come out with him. So he was like, all right, let me just come through. He probably did that shit for free too. Because how much can you pay him to come out with you?
He probably, because you peoples, like, I can walk you out, but if I rap, you gotta pay me.
Yeah, you gotta pay me. Just play the music in the background. I ain't saying shit.
Like, this is gonna be fair play. I'll let you do this. You can play the song. People come out to it all the time. It's all right. If I rap one bar, give me my $150,000 right now.
He probably just gave him a free ticket. He probably gave him a front row ticket. And I swore I saw Haley in the front row too. My godson was like, "Is that Haley?" I was like, "Is it?" I don't know.
I mean,
he probably gave M a couple of tickets and shit for him to do it.
Yeah, but because in the front it's like celebrity row. Everybody's there. What I saw when I saw the thing, Thomas Hearns,
Tyson.
Yeah, but Mike's in Vegas all the time. But I know
Zab Judah. Zab Judah was there.
Zab was there. Manny was there. Floyd was there.
Roy Jones.
Yeah, because Roy was sitting right next to Zab.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Tracy Morgan and a couple other people. But that's happened in boxing. I mean, before like all the stars would come out. I mean, these are the stars, but I mean, all the stars now, these little like TikTok people and YouTube people, like nobody will see y'all at the fight, man. Nobody give a fuck about y'all, so don't show up. But was it a good fight? It was one-sided, but yeah, you saw what a masterclass in boxing looks like when someone gets their ass handed to them. These kind of things happen. It's exactly what occurred. Yeah,
so Crawford destroyed Spence, and I want to see him negotiate with Canelo. Maybe they can agree on a catch weight, 150, 154. Somebody has to go up, somebody has to go down, whatever. Because what else is there now for Crawford? Besides Canelo. And I think he'll watch Canelo.
I think he's going to beat dog shit out of Canelo. And I like Canelo, but I don't think he can beat him.
I'm ready to say this. You tell me if I'm off base. I'm prepared to say that Terrence Crawford is better than Floyd Mayweather. Pound for pound all time. The only thing that could be against him is probably that, and that's probably not even his fault, and that's probably just because the sport isn't as popular as it was, 10, 15, 20 years ago. Maybe just because we don't really know all the guys, like we knew all the guys that Mayweather fought. Like Mayweather fought everybody. He fought De La Hoya, you know what I'm saying? He fought Pac-Man, even though they were over the hill. He fought, you know what I'm saying? Like we knew the guys he was fighting. He fought Zab Judah. He fought all the Mexican fighters. But that's not to say that the level of competition that Crawford is beating is lesser. He's just making it look easy because he's beating everybody that's being put in front of him. He's defensive and he's also offensive, as where Mayweather's only been a defensive fighter. You wasn't worried about Mayweather knocking you out. He was only going to beat you with points, right? Because you wasn't going to touch him at all and he was going to touch you and get his points. But Crawford will knock you out.
Oh, I think it would have been a hell of a fight. If they fought in their prime, I think it would have been a hell of a fight. Is he better than Mayweather? No, but his career is at a point where he can make an argument. I think he can make an argument because basically whoever's in front of him, he fought. And the thing people always say about Mayweather is like, you should have fought Pacquiao 5 years before y'all fought. Like, it seemed like he was running for a long time. But the whole thing was like, for a very long time, I mean, pretty much after Oscar De La Hoya, Mayweather was the guy who was carrying boxing.
Right.
And like anytime, like we always talk about it, since like, people getting together, having fight parties, so on and so forth. You didn't really do with any other fighter besides, well, not even De La Hoya, because no one really gave a shit, but really until he came along, started having these fights where he fights De La Hoya, he fights Canelo. Like, the whole thing that people can't say he ducked, like, whoever's the biggest guy who made the most money.
But he doesn't fight. But he ducks guys, and he doesn't fight the best guys in their prime. You know what I'm saying? Like, he fought Canelo when he was 20 years old.
Right, he fought a young Canelo.
He fought De La Hoya when he was already, you know, towards the end of his career.
Fair. But the whole thing, I can only fight who I can fight. And the whole thing is that if I'm at this level, like, why would I fight down for somebody that is more challenging, but I'm not going to, like, my whole thing is that I'm going to make money. So you always make the money fights, period. Like, I could have fought better competition, sure. Or guys you thought would have been at that level at the time, yes. But what you're going to run into is, like, this, like, I'm bringing here, you're not box office. You don't bring in the people's going to watch it. Like I said, what they got, like 4-5 million pay-per-view buys from him fighting Conor McGregor?
Yeah, he's fighting YouTubers and the Logan Pauls of the world and these guys. And, like, I'm good, man.
Like, what is it? I think Francis Ngannou is going to fight Tyson Fury. And I don't think anybody cares.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No one cares. The baddest man in UFC who's now under his own promotion is going to fight the heavyweight champion of the world. And no one cares. No one's talking about it because they think, like, you guys can't fight boxers. He's going to wash you, and that's going to be it. And they're probably not lying. So when you have a guy like Crawford, who is amazingly talented but just doesn't have the box office draw, he proved he could do so now. So I think he's going to need to fight guys like Canelo. He's going to need to fight whatever the biggest name is going to be out there from this point forward until he decides to stop boxing. Because there's no other bridges across. We waited so long for this fight. It was a one-sided ass whooping. So, like, now you basically fight for the check. Like, whoever is going to bring in the biggest bank and the biggest buys, we are going to do that. So don't be surprised if Canelo gets past Jermell Charlo, that Crawford is going to be up next for him. I believe that.
Real quick, let's touch up on a situation that happened this week with Bronny entering the cardiac arrest.
God bless.
And he's like 17?
Yeah. Oof.
How do you get a heart attack at that age, bro, that young?
I don't know if it was. I mean, heart attack is a sign of cardiac arrest, but it's not necessarily like a heart issue. Oh my God, what's one boy name? Damar Hamlin, the guy from Buffalo. Like, it just a 1 in a million thing that happened that made his heart stop, but he never had any heart issues.
Yeah, but he got hit. It was the blow. You know what I'm saying?
Right at that point. I mean, the most famous case is a guy like Hank Gathers who died playing basketball. But it always sounds it sounds strange when they say it comes from athletes, but it's not as extreme or as rare as it might seem. Because quite simply, it's this: when you're an athlete, like, the heart's a muscle. So if the heart and the muscle get stronger, or the lining gets stronger, something else like that, you can get these kind of issues that happen up. I'm glad that he's okay.
Yeah.
I wonder what it means for his future, but I'm glad he's okay.
That's the question I was trying to pose. Like, I mean, we've seen guys make it to the NBA with heart conditions and with different health issues, right? But we know that LeBron James's future is directly contingent on what happens with his son. If he gets drafted, who he gets drafted to. Because before he retires, he's already said, everybody knows that his last dream is to play at least one season with his son. And I don't know if he'll be like a top 5 pick or anything like that, because he's not like as good as his dad was in high school, right?
No, far from it.
I think I'll argue that Carmelo Anthony's son is better than Bronny, because the dude be shooting the lights out in all the videos I'll be seeing. But a team knows that if I draft Bronny, I'm gonna also get dad. I'm gonna get LeBron, and I think teams will draft him just off of the premise of that.
I believe.
But
so.
If he's not healthy enough to play, that changes things.
I think even if he's healthy enough to play, I think this kind of gave LeBron maybe perspective. I'm not saying that he didn't have perspective before, but I think it did, because it's more like, I'm doing this, I'm keeping in great shape, so on and so forth. I can still play at an NBA level, a very, very high NBA level. And I'm doing this, get a chance to play with my son. But then this happens, and like, am I worried about the wrong thing? Like I raised this boy, he's my son, he's my first son, and I want to make sure like his life is good and everything's happy. Like, is this that much of a concern to see if he can make it to the NBA when I'm really like, his health more than anything else is going to come first. All this other shit's secondary. All of it. Like if something really tragic happened to Bronny, like then whatever dream you had of having that happen doesn't happen, but it's your dream. It's not. I don't necessarily think it's Bronny's dream at all. I think Bronny's dream is to play in the NBA. His dad's dream is for his son to play in the NBA so I can play with him. Sometimes them two dreams don't coincide and it doesn't click. And I think it's kind of, hopefully it gives him perspective. Like, I'm just going to play as well as I can play. If I feel like I need to retire, I'm going to retire. But I'm not going to hold out this hope for Bronny, even though it may be possible. But if he can succeed and that's his dream, then he should do so. But seeing that, you're so close to losing your son's life, like, we are fine for your generation, after yours, after. You will never have a worry. But whatever your dream, whatever your passion is, you should go for it. If it's the NBA, do that. If it's something else, do that. But I think more than anything else, you don't want to lose your child. And it was such a random thing, like, pop my phone, like, what the fuck happened? That is like, it's not a concern. Like, as long as you're okay, Bronny, if you want to hoop. If you don't want to do that, we have a bunch of family business you want to do that. Or if you want to go off on your own and do your own thing, that's fine too. But this is, it's not his dream. Because it's just something.
Right, because how hard is it when you have a legendary parent? That shit must be like anxiety inducing to try to live up to their legacy, to always be in their shadow or to try to live up to what your father was. You know what I'm saying? And it never works out. We see it in all sports. Cesar Chavez's kids didn't work out as boxers. Jordan's kids ain't become basketball players. That shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, when was the last time we saw a father who was a legend and then had a kid? The closest thing is probably Muhammad Ali because his daughter was good. But still, I wouldn't call her as legendary as her father was. Right. She just ain't have nobody to compete with in her sport. Right.
And Dell was a legend. No, Dell wasn't a legend. He's a really good shooter. His son surpassed him.
His son surpassed him, right. Correct. But it's very hard, bro. If your father is LeBron James and he's a first ballot Hall of Famer and he's a top 5 player of all time, and now and he's saying, I'm waiting for my son to come to the NBA so I can play with him. I'm sure that has to be stressful.
And the only time, because Ken Griffey Sr. was good. Wasn't great, but he was good. But his son
was way better.
Easily surpassed him.
Correct.
But it's a hard thing because people always think it's almost like if your dad does this and you're going to do that. Like, no, you got to sustain and create your own legacy. You don't want to do that. And the thing with Bronny is like, no matter what I do, it's always going to be in comparison to my dad. It's never going to be like the stature of what I can do as, LeBron James Jr. Like just me. But the fact that when it comes down to it, whenever someone sees me like, oh, you're LeBron James' son. Like, yeah, that's my dad and he taught me how to play. But all of this shit here was on my time and on my merit. It wasn't on anybody else. And for him to kind of deal with that and to deal with this and the aftermath is like, how much do I really want this shit? Like do I want to go to UFC just to hoop, just have fun? Or is like, do I want to leave after a year just to make sure I can do this thing with my dad? Because like, maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I enjoy college. Maybe I like playing college basketball. I that's a part of my life, the legacy of the thing that I want to do. And
I think I would go into a different sport altogether. I'd be like, yo, Dad, I want to play baseball. I want to play, football, whatever. I'm not going into basketball if my father's LeBron James. I'm just not. I'm like, yo, Dad, let me just manage one of these businesses you got. You know what I mean? You got this theater like Magic Johnson, or you got this restaurant. Let me just manage that. I'll be good. I'm not trying to, follow your footsteps.
Or at least give me like a couple years to learn how to do it. So if I decide to do it for myself, I can do it. Like, because it's still under your thing. Like, if I can do my own thing, like, I had the great financial backing, yeah, but I want to make sure that I'm ready and prepared for it. But more than anything else outside of all that, I'm just glad he's alive. Because that, for any parent, anything happens to the kid, that has to be frightening. And when they say cardiac arrest, yeah, it's going to freak you out a little bit. So as long as he's alive and doing better, I'm happy for him.
All right, real quick, I wanted to touch up on this. I don't want to get into, conspiracies and nothing like this. But this week, Congress had a UFO hearing.
Oh, nigga, here we go.
We got to talk about it a little bit.
Sure. I got you.
But they don't call it UFOs. They call them UAPs now. Unidentified aerial phenomenon or whatever, right? And, you had like former military, whistleblowers and former, Air Force pilots and all types of authoritative figures talking about how yeah, we got some shit. I saw something. Or yeah, we have recovered UFOs. And yeah, we had some aliens. You know what I'm saying?
The truth is out there, brother.
The main guy that everybody's talking about is the David Grush. He served 14 years as an intelligence officer in the Air Force and National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. So he appeared before the House Oversight Committee's National Security Subcommittee alongside two former fighter pilots who had firsthand experience with UAPs, quote unquote. He told lawmakers that he was informed of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program during the course of his work examining classified programs, et cetera, et cetera. But my thing is, either government or Congress is playing dumb, right? And they're like, let's put some information out there, but let's still act like we don't know shit. Or there really is a secret government that handles this stuff, that works, underneath or above the actual government.
Like Men in Black.
I'm just saying, because how the fuck? Either the government knows some shit and they just bullshitting this whole time and lying to us, or they really don't know nothing, and the people that really do know is a different, you know what I'm saying? A different organization or some secret shit. Like, come on, just hurry up and tell us, bro.
They can't.
And in these hearings, they have all these hearings and nobody produces a picture. Nobody produces a body like, look, this is the first alien we have. Boom, this is what he is right here. This is the autopsy body or something. Give me a picture, bro. Give me a picture that's not grainy and far away. Looks like a dot. Like, everybody has a new iPhone that has HD, super megapixel cameras and all of this shit. Mm-hmm. Super HD shit. Everybody has a camera now. Everybody is a photographer, but nobody has a clear picture of some shit. Show me some shit, bruh.
The Bigfoot thing.
The Bigfoot thing was a hoax, though.
Right, but the whole idea that there's a Bigfoot, but then like people are trying to take a picture of Bigfoot, but you can never find a picture of Bigfoot. But everyone sees Bigfoot, but no one's ever took a picture of Bigfoot.
Yeah, you see some dude in a costume from far away walking. Like, oh, that's Bigfoot. Like, nah.
But it's just some dude wearing a Harry and a Henderson's costume. That's
right.
It.
So I don't know, man. I'm waiting for the aliens to just pop out and be like, "We here, motherfuckers."
Like, but that's the thing. If they hear, they can't tell you. They couldn't. It's impossible. Your brains wouldn't be able to accept it. We fall apart. Okay. Here's the truth of the matter. And like I said, my phone's going to get tapped after this. But look, fellas, it's fine. I'm on your side. Let's say that aliens actually do exist, right? That there are other life forms of a non-human being living amongst us in whatever shape or form. We're going to assume that being is probably of higher intelligence. We're going to assume. So we're going to assume that their technology is of a higher level too. We're going to assume. So if you can get into the whole, they've been living amongst us, look like us, so on and so forth, and been here this entire time, it's probably real possible. Aliens have maybe been here a long time and look just like us. We might be aliens and not know it. Who the fuck knows? The thing is that you cannot say that there are the idea of other life here or other life existing, because it kind of like literally deflates the whole idea of the Bible when it says we're the only ones out here. And now you're seeing there's other people out here, you're kind of defaulting this entire book that a lot of literal, like your own personal moral code that laws have been written about, statutes, and a lot of shit has kind of based on this Judeo-Christian ideal of what that means, and things have reflected in society. If you no longer says that we are the only ones, and these rules are supposed to follow if we're the only ones, all that shit becomes moot. Therefore, you can't really have it because this place will fall into fucking chaos. Imagine if you find out you see an actual alien, right? The very next Sunday, churches be empty because like y'all said it was just us. Apparently y'all lied, so fuck all this. It gets really, really weird. That's why you can't do it. So do they probably exist? Yeah. Did we make a deal with them like y'all can live amongst us, but we can't really have y'all like here in the streets like that, kind of like a side chick? Probably. But the truth of the matter is you can't really do it because it just defraud this whole system that
it'll fuck up the fabric of society, bro, in many different ways. I get it. Technologically, faith-wise, religiously, spiritually, everything. Yeah. And I don't want to get into conspiratorial theories, but to me, and it always has been, the idea that we are the only intelligent life forms in this vast, vast universe and galaxy, to me, has always been the most naive and the most egotistical and the dumbest shit ever. They discover new planets every day. Scientists do. And I just recently read that they found an Earth-like fucking planet somewhere, right? They got planets with water. They got planets with all types of shit. You're going to tell me we're the only planet that has life? No. I'm not fathoming that idea.
And I live in this world, and intelligent life is a stretch for some people. Intelligent life is a real stretch for some. Like, nah, like you know how to walk and talk, but that's really it. This whole smart thing, that shit ain't you though. But yeah, I get it.
Like just life in general, whether we're dumb as fuck or not. There's life, bro. There's life outside of this. And I'm pretty sure we're probably one of the most primitive planets out there. When some of these other civilizations land on Earth, they're like, damn, these motherfuckers are ape-like. You know what I'm saying? The way we feel about apes is probably the way other civilizations feel about us.
Imagine, you know, like an alien lands in California and like, let's say Calabasas, where like quote unquote all the rich people live. And they just pull up, they're like, man, this shit is a dump. This shit sucks. Y'all are poor. This the projects. Like, this is, ugh.
Imagine them pulling up in Florida. Like, what is this?
They're like, so these are where the primates live.
This is the Sunshine State? Why they keep shooting each other?
And the thing is that it's so hot. They said like even the water in Florida is hot, which is, ugh. It's already like fucking muggy and sticky down there. Now you got like sticky water. This summer is it. It's not it, boy. It just ain't it.
All right, man. The last topic I wanted to touch, because I had a question for you.
Sure.
Was Carly Russell.
Sure.
Alabama woman who faked her kidnapping.
Mm-hmm.
It is now being charged with all kinds of shit.
2 misdemeanors for the kidnapping plot. Yeah, sure.
First of all, what compels somebody? The first thing that came to my mind when I heard this story was the whole Juicy Smollett shit, right?
Yep.
Like, my question to you and to black folk and colored folk is, what would compel you to do some shit like that? Because we know, and look, and I'll admit, white people do this more than black and brown people do this type of shit, right? We heard all kinds of story of black people, you know, white people faking a death, faking a kidnapping, pretending to be Hispanic. We heard about the lady, remember that a year or two ago, whatever it was, where she was pretending to be Latina this whole time, and she was just a white fucking woman. But when white people do it, we know why they do it. They do it for clout. They do it because they really want to be black or brown. They love our culture so much, right? Or they're on drugs. But when a black person fakes, you know, a kidnapping, or fakes getting beat up because, it's, you know, it's a, you know, their homophobia agenda, or they want to push a racist narrative. Oh, it's racism. I got, like, what compels them to, like, especially this, like, we know why Juicy Smollett did his shit. We don't understand it, but we know why. What the fuck compelled Carly Russell from Alabama to fake her kidnapping? Can you explain this shit to me?
Look, man, no, because I've been trying to tell you after all these episodes, I'm not the arbiter of black people. I cannot tell you what all black people are thinking. Not at all. I'm kind of sick of that shit. I can't tell them fuck think. The truth of the matter comes down to a very simple story. Apparently, the story kind of goes like this. She's dating a guy. The guy was either having a side thing going on, or he had sex with a adult entertainer, stripper, however you want to call it. Not call her a whore or prostitute. I have no idea. She happened to be someone who's adult entertainment that apparently he might have had sex with this person that has something else going on with her. Apparently she got distraught. She's 25 years old. She's a nursing student. She's under a hell of a lot of pressure. So Carly decides to make up this story that apparently there was a baby on the side of the road and that someone kidnapped her and that they had this 2-day manhunt and that they sent out people to go look for her. And when she popped up 2 days later at her parents' house, she explained the whole story that someone had kidnapped her and put her in the back of an 18-wheeler and took pictures of her naked. But then like the story just kind of like falling apart because they saw that she did stupid shit like Google, like, you know, taking and how to like fake a kidnapping and shit like that, which wasn't really bright all into itself. So we're going to stick with that one point here. We're going to go forward. You know, I'm going to read it specifically. Said police on Wednesday listed some very strange online searches that Russell made in the days leading up to her disappearance. The search queries included, do you have to pay for an Amber Alert? How to take money from a register without being caught. Birmingham bus station. One-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville, and that was the date of when she was supposedly kidnapped. And then also the movie Taken.
Jesus.
Look.
Do people know that everything that's on the internet is saved forever? Your search history, whatever you post, it's out there.
Yeah, the truth is out there, brother. Ain't no reason to hide somebody. Like, you want to see what I Google? Like, yo, just tap it. You're going to see some funny shit. You might see some wild shit, but you asked. Like, you really want to know. Like, you want to see the claws of crabs. Okay, you want to Google that. But it's all search because they need you to do so they can build a better search engine so it makes it more efficient to see the shit you search for. But
you ever been at work?
Shit like that.
Yo, you ever been at work and you be trying, you're on the internet and you thinking like, I know my boss is going to see what the fuck I'm searching. You're like, in the back of your mind, you're like conscious of what you're about to search or what website you're about to visit. Cause you know that management or whoever or IT or whoever can probably go through your whole history and be like, why is this motherfucker searching, how to bury a body? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
How to kill your boss or some shit.
You start Googling, I'm so sick of these motherfuckers. It'd be like, red flag.
What's the best way to quit your job?
Absolutely. Like, if like you Google, if I quit, will I collect unemployment? Shit like that. Like,
next thing you know, you're getting called into the office. Like, yo, you trying to leave us? Are you giving us a 2-week notice? Like, what are you talking about?
But like, we're not going to say, but we're guessing. You seem unhappy about your job performance. Like, how do you know? Like, we're just getting a feeling. You check my search history. Like, that's all you did. Like, if I quit, do I get that paycheck in the hole? How long do I keep my health insurance after I quit? Like, they look at all this shit. They be like, every day. So I don't know why. And like I said, she's a nursing student. She's not stupid. She's far from it. For her to think like, oh, this is a great idea. I'm going to kidnap myself and these people are going to care about me. Bitch, don't nobody care. As a matter of fact, you got people looking at you crazy because it's a dumb idea. Things happen with relationships where them shits don't work out. I understand. People end up hurt. People end up upset. But no one's trying to fucking kidnap themselves because especially when it comes to black people, that shit's not funny. There have been white people who have said that, my child got kidnapped by someone of color and they were just beating up niggas left and right to find out that the white woman had killed her kids. This shit's not funny. And like I said, and you're putting precious resources into some bullshit that could actually be out there that might actually save somebody's life. As a matter of fact, I read about some kid who was 11 years old who got arrested because she was doing some dumb shit. She saw like a YouTube prank about calling 911 and saying her friend got kidnapped, something else like that. They were able to trace the phone down. They went to her house. They called the phone, and it's right there because the police department kept calling her back to try to get more information about this young 14-year-old girl that got kidnapped. Like, why do y'all play games like this? This is not funny. You're putting people's lives in danger. You're taking resources away from things that actually need their fucking attention. You got people out in the streets, like, searching for your dumb ass, and you just, fake your kidnapping because you got mad at this nigga. Like, you're a nursing student. I'm pretty sure you got some other shit going on in your life. This is not the end of it. There's so much more for you to do. And the fact that this became a story, then people start clowning them, and it became the whole, Jussie Smollett thing, because, like, there's no reason for you to do so. Like, there's no reason for Jussie to do so. You fucked up. Jussie's probably out there doing some bullshit, and you made a whole ass story that she ended up going to jail for. And she might go to jail for this. The thing is that, in all honesty, I just want them to give that child a fine. Like, she's trying to become a nursing student. She might be able to help people. She might be able to do some good with the rest of her life. And I really hope and pray that she does. But the truth of the matter is, like, if she goes to jail or she does something or there's something on her record, all that school and all that education, all that nurse school shit goes out the fucking window. Now you're back at square one just because you made a silly fucking mistake to try to say something like, I'm getting kidnapped. It's so fucking dumb of her. Like, I'm not even irritated about it. I just find it to be stupid. Like, do better.
Has to be drugs. But
I don't know. No. Because when she Googled that shit, she was real clear-minded. It had nothing to do with drugs. Cause
you could Google some shit, but actually acting it out?
I mean, that's how it starts. I mean, a lot of people who like actually commit suicide don't know how to do it. And they Google that shit. Like, how do I go about it? And if you actually did that, because I had to do it in college. When you do it, the first thing that pops up, like the first 5 results, are for like the suicide prevention hotline.
Yeah, call. Yeah, you need help. Like, call somebody.
Right. It won't tell you like there's a bunch when they pop in the beginning. Just like, look, we know what you Googled, but we can help you. But she asked them like taking a bus, like people don't know what the fuck you look like. Like you're plastered all over the picture, all over the fucking the state and all over the country. If you hop in a bus, someone's going to know what you look like. Come on now. I know you're crazy. You ain't stupid. Come on, think this shit through.
Black people, we gotta do better, man.
Stop blaming the black. That's not the black people got to know. She got to do better. I'm not speaking to all black people. She got to do better.
Was that a little racist of me?
A touch, but don't worry about it. It's Sunday.
But yo, that was episode 142 of The Culture. Damn, it's a lot of episodes, bro.
Not really. Because I'll be like,
damn near 3 years.
I go to work all the time, and I don't really listen to music at work. I listen to podcasts because it's more I can focus and everything else like that. You've been seeing shows that have been doing for like 3 years, and they're like episode 305, 307. They're like, golly.
Yeah, but that's people there's not a lot of those. And it's people like the Joe Rogan, because he does like 3 episodes a week type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Which
they got they have in a bag. Like, it's a lot of fucking episodes.
We'll get to that point eventually. Right now, we stick it to the once a week type of shit.
You're doing this shit that work. Fuck that. Like you said, you got birthdays and kids and vacations.
We got life.
Yo, did homegirl get her passport situation sorted out, or still impending? This shit is it's pending. This passport shit is a mess, bro.
Ugh. I don't know, man. I'm gonna be in Jamaica in about 3 months.
There you go.
I'm gonna be in Jamaica celebrating my 40th.
Ooh, see, that's racist. See?
How was that racist?
That's unnecessary. Why had to put it in a bump? It's unnecessary. That's like, let's say, I'm gonna be in Mexico. Da, 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 da. No.
Oh, that's racist. That's racist.
But you're like, I'm in Jamaica. Bump. Come on now. It's racist. It's all right.
My bumper clods.
See. Don't perpetrate the bullshit, man. You don't have to do this. I kid.
Yo, I'm out of here, yo.
We out of here. Y'all
Peace
be
out.
safe. Make good choices.
Thanks for listening to The Culture Podcast.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode.
For more info and updates, connect with us on our website, theculture.one, or on Facebook at The Culture Podcast 2020, or follow us on Twitter and YouTube at The Culture 2020.
I always follow them.
Please subscribe to the show and leave reviews and comments where you listen to podcasts.